Today, March 6th, we see the first quarter moon in Gemini, conjunct Jupiter, and squaring Saturn. The first quarter moon is the halfway phase in the waxing half of the lunar cycle. It is the halfway point between the new moon and the full moon, when the moon is half illuminated. The first quarter moon is about making decisions, seeing from another perspective, and making the commitment to act now. The first quarter moon asks us to take action, to push through obstacles, and to keep going. It is about balanced action. Balanced action that comes from making the decisions to make a choice between our inner and outer self. Quarter moons are aspects that occur when the moon and sun are square each other. Square aspects are aspects of tension. So this first quarter moon in Gemini is formed when the sun in Aquarius is square the moon in Gemini. Aquarius is the fixed air sign, and Gemini is the mutable air sign. So this square is really focused on the element of air. Air is connected to our mind, our mental processing, our forms of communication, and how we bring our knowledge into our world through the ways that we express ourselves, through the ways that we express our knowledge, through the ways that we take our understanding and pour it into our decision making. Aquarius, the water bearer, is about bringing the knowledge that we hold and fixing it in the world around us, sharing our wisdom and pouring our understanding into the world around us. The sun is the outer representation of ourself. So the sun in Aquarius is about taking our wisdom, our knowledge, and bringing it into the outside world, pouring it into being and allowing it to shine through. Gemini, the mutable air sign, is about changing and adapting as we learn and grow. It is about taking the things that we have learnt and understand and modifying the way that we communicate this information into being. The moon is the aspect of our inner self, so it is the inner understanding, the inner knowledge that we have found, and bringing it into our outside world. Square aspects are aspects of challenge when the energies come at each other at an angle and encourage us to see both sides of the story and make a choice to move forward. So this square aspect is asking us to see how our outer wisdom and knowledge is influencing our inner story, and how our inner story is influencing the way that we reflect our knowledge out into the world, asking us to make a choice. The first quarter moon in Gemini is about speaking things into being. It is about taking this aspect of air energy, this aspect of mutable energy, and allowing us to adapt and change the ways that we are telling our story, the words that we are speaking, the way that we are bringing our goals into being. How are you speaking things into being is in alignment with what you are working towards. This first quarter moon is asking us to take some time to look at how we are communicating with not only ourselves, but with the outside world, and to look at how these things need to be adjusted in order for them to be on the same page. First quarter moons are looking at things that are on different pages and bringing them together in a compromise and understanding in order for us to move forward from this place of powerful determination, from this place of action that will allow us to step forward in our world, to allow us to step forward with our goals. So this first quarter moon in Gemini is really asking us to get behind our decisions, to get behind our wisdom, and to enable us to bring things into being. This moon is also conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of abundance and expansion. It is this energy of infinite potential. whenever Jupiter is involved, we have this amplifying energy standing behind us that wants to encourage us to bring things into being. It wants to water those seeds that we plant and to really allow us to expand in our potential. Jupiter in Gemini has been all about expanding our forms of communication, expanding our knowledge, and allowing these expansions to bring things into being, enabling us to take our ideas and our thoughts and bring them out into the world, amplifying them for our goals. So this conjunction of Mercury, this conjunction of our infinite potential with this first quarter moon is really going to empower us to make the choices and decisions that are good for our growth, that are good for the goals that we have been working towards, that are good for allowing us to speak things into being, for taking this midway point in the waxing cycle, the growing cycle of the moon, to allow us to bring our inner understanding into our being. A beautiful quarter moon to allow us to make the choices and decisions that we need to bring things into being, and really amplifying the energy of the decisions that we make today, the actions that we take. Whatever choices we decide to make are going to reflect in our outer world in this knowledgeable way, in this expansive way. This conjunction with the moon is really going to allow us to expand our inner understanding, our inner knowing, our inner wisdom, and allow us to communicate this inner wisdom out into the actions that we put forward and the decisions that we make. We also see this moon and the conjunction with Jupiter square Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is the taskmaster planet. It is the energy of getting things done. It is foundational energy that allows us to build those structures and routines that will support our growth, will support us in taking the steps forward, and really helps us to build the foundations within ourselves that allow us to turn up each day and show up for our goals. It is the energy of action, but action from a place that is regulated, that is out of routines and disciplines, and is really from a place of knowledgeable understanding of what needs to be done in order for us to get to where we are going. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and it is the mutual water sign. It is about flowing in our waters, taking those choices and decisions in balanced ways to enable us to flow in our being. So this square aspect of the moon with Saturn is asking us to make choices that amplify our growth, that work towards the stories that we are telling, that work in alignment with the goals that we have been setting, and to commit to this action by taking actions and routines that are in alignment with ourselves, that allow us to flow in our being and that are balanced. Balanced actions that reflect both sides of the story, that take into account the whole cycle that we have been working through. As the last sign of the zodiac, it encompasses all the energies of the zodiac past, and it is about endings and beginnings. So what decisions and actions can you bring into being, that you can speak into being, that you can then follow with those physical routines, those physical disciplines that will allow you to bring this cycle to an end, and from this ending step into the cycles of new beginning? A very supportive, challenging square that's going to encourage us to actually act on the things that we are speaking into being. For you can look at this conjunction with Jupiter, this energy of Gemini's first moon, asking us to speak into being, telling your story, telling the universe what you want, but you're not going to get anywhere unless you take the actions and routines, turning up for yourself daily in order to make those things come into being. So this square with Saturn is really supporting this quarter moon and asking us to turn up for ourselves, to take the actions that need to happen, and encouraging us to take steps daily that are going to push us in the right direction.